told me to go fuck myself today. So I can't listen to Little Mix, which is the only thing I wanted to do today. And I'm pretty stressed out because I'm headed to FedEx and then to work, and I haven't left the house in a couple of weeks, and I started my period yesterday, which sucks. Although, I mean, it could be worse. We all know that the second day is my worst, or at least the second night, so thankfully it's today and not, tomorrow. Anyway, so I want to pitch my game show idea that I've been hinting at that nobody seems to have actually asked about, which is very upsetting because I wrote a very lengthy treatment for it, like an actual film treatment for it, and I think it would work as a web series, a TV series. Well, maybe not a TV series. It will be pretty explicit. A web series, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so remember the 1960s game show, the dating game? It would be kind of like that, but the way that they used to have commercials, instead of, ads popping up with other actors promoting products or whatever, they would just have whatever celebrity guest was on there, or the host or whatever, either read out the promotion for the product, or they would have little skits, little sketches, and sometimes comedic characters that were part of the show, sort of adjacent, to promote products. But mine would be specific characters and specific little sketches, but instead of promoting products, they would be promoting information. So, on the traditional dating game, you would have one person who was the guest, and they were the one who was interviewing potential suitors. So they would be sitting next to the host, and then there's a big divider, and then there's 1, 2, 3. It used to be bachelors or bachelorettes, but it would just be, other guests that they would, be bachelor number 1, what is your idea of the perfect first date? Well, on my game show, which it does have a name, I'll get to that, it would be the guest, which would be anybody born with a vagina. So, could be a dude, could be a lady, could be gender fluid, whatever, doesn't matter as long as you have a vagina. That's it. And it would be a sort of matchmaking for them to find their perfect sex toy. So there would be it would be very glossy looking, lots of 1960s bright colors and all that kind of fun stuff, and it would have the very traditional game show host voice, this is Charlotte, and she would just be due to her shallow vagina, she cannot have penetrative orgasms. And she would just be they'd be she prefers clitoral stimulation. She dislikes oral, but she does love digital manipulation. I can't do a game show voice. I'm sorry. My natural speaking voice is that of an angry chipmunk. I can't lower it. I've tried, actually. Anyway, so, beforehand, obviously, they would interview the person and find out, what they actually like. But, yeah, the goal would be to match them up with the perfect sex toy to meet their needs. And in the process, not only is it tearing down the stigma or embarrassment or what the fuck ever about self-pleasure, using toys, the differences between people with vaginas, and that they're all different and they all require different things for stimulation, etc., etc. But the little sketches in between, I've got quite a few characters worked out. I think my favorite is the girl who she would be wearing imagine her dress is Columbia from Rocky Horror, but she'd be wearing the little straw boat hat and have a little cane and come dancing on the stage and it would be hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gal, and she would literally be the ragtime gal, and she would be hi everybody, I'm here to give you some tips about having sex on your period, and it would be tips, hints, advice, whatever, but filled with lots of corny puns because that's vaudeville. Another character or characters would be a family that I have named the spokesperson for the family is Peggy. I think you know where I'm headed with this. Peggy and Robert, otherwise known as Bob Dom. So Peggy Dom, she is June Cleaver mixed with Beth Ann Stanton. So very traditional, early 60s, perfect housewife. Like, string of pearls, little frilly apron with her perfect, Chanel dress and, oven mitts and whatever. And she'd be like, I've always loved anal, but thanks to, what would be a good opening line for her? I've always loved anal, otherwise known as taking it up the ass. But thanks to a friendly tip from my hairstylist, I inserted a tip of my finger into my husband's rectum as I filleted him. And he enjoyed it so much that we discovered pegging. And then it would just go on, Basically, they would be jokes and they would be funny, but the overall goal would be education. And I would definitely want to have actual doctors on set working on the script and whatever, like an actual sexologist and an actual OBGYN who would give information. And I have this amazing sketch in mind for explaining periods, and it is hysterical. I won't even get into that one because that's like the longest, most detailed one, but it is phenomenal. Anyway, I forgot my other favorite character. His name is Mr. Knight, and he sits and reads like a book by the fire, looking very, wearing like a smoking jacket and reading, a leather-bound book, and he sort of turns to the camera, like very 1960s, like, I know everything smile, and he's like, welcome to Word of the Day. And he would give some type of term. So anything on the gender, sexuality, romantic scale. So he'd be like, today's word of the day is demisexual. And then he would give the exact definition, the root origin of the word, the etymology. And then he would give like a common, definition. But he would just be kind of like rolling his eyes the whole time. I can't roll my eyes on. He would be like, and for those of you who didn't understand that, it is someone who prefers to have sex with one that they are romantically attached to. And he would be kind of like looking down on people who didn't understand this because, duh, everybody should know it. But the purpose of it is basically to make it seem normal to people, like, oh, I should have known that, and therefore encourage them to look it up and learn more about it. There would be lots and lots and lots. Is it really going to rain now? There would be lots and lots and lots of little sidebars and information about different conditions, things that can cause cervical cancer, lots of different characters telling you about these things. But the main focus of the show would still be the dating game, which the host's name is Paige. So you got Paige and Mr. Knight, and so I was going with the tarot theme. So I decided to call the show Ace in the Hole, which is not only hilarious because it's about masturbatory aids, but it kind of gives a shout out to everyone who's ace too, so that they are not excluded, and hopefully still draw them in to watch for the actual information that all people need about their bodies, but nobody seems to ever get. Like, I have actually met grown adult women who didn't know that their pee did not come out of their vagina, and I don't even know how many human grown adult men don't know that you can't hold your period like your urine. I still find that really funny. I know I shouldn't find it funny. It should just be really, really sad and depressing. But it's still fucking funny. Or like, they're like, well, can't you just like wait? Like hold off on your period? Like, that'd be great. That'd be fucking great. Do you not think we'd all be doing that? No, I just really fucking felt like having a period today. It just seemed like such a great idea on the one day I go to work. Anyway, hopefully you like my game show idea, and hopefully nobody rips it off. But thankfully, actually did copyright the name, or at least filed for copyright. But it turns out you can't patent or copyright an idea or whatever. So instead, I printed it all out and typed it all in my notes and screenshot and saved, and like, you know, it dates everything. So that way, if anybody watches this and tries to steal my idea and I find out about it, I have lots and lots and lots of proof that I'm the one who came up with it first, including me describing it in complete entire detail to my sister and dated and time-stamped text to her. So if anybody's thinking about stealing the idea, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. My two best friends are attorneys. Not necessarily that type of attorney, but I'm sure that they could recommend somebody really good, and I will come the fuck after you, because this is the best idea I think I've ever had. And I know it would be a good show, and I know for a fucking fact that we need it, and young women really need it. Most women don't masturbate. Most women don't even know to masturbate. I didn't have an orgasm until I was 30 years old. 30 years old, which, by the way, since I last made a video, I'm now 40. Officially a cougar, which I'm so much more excited about than I have any right to be. Like, I'm so fucking excited. Not as excited as I will be for 42 for Douglas Adams purposes, but still, 40 it's pretty fucking great. Anyway, so yeah, that's the gist of it, of both my game show and my threat of anybody stealing my idea. Don't fuck with me. But if you're interested in the idea and you are a producer of any sort, all three of you who are going to watch this video and are already my best friend and or mom, if anybody else ever happens to see this, just contact me and we will negotiate. But I do want to be a consultant because I have better taste than you. Just saying. Also, I need somebody to fucking watch Ted Lasso so that I have somebody to talk to about it. Okay, that's all. Thanks.